Hey guys, Sean here, and you're about to watch a weekly Q&A call that I do in the free Facebook group. Before you do so, I just wanted to invite you real quick to join the Facebook group so that you can exchange ideas with other publishers, mastermind, connect with them. So far, we have over 4,000 members and it is growing quickly. You will also receive two bonuses by joining. The first one is how to generate lasting income on Amazon KDP case study. This is basically a case study to show you how I went from zero to multiple six figures on Amazon KDP. And the second reason why you want to join is so that you can attend these weekly Q&A call live and ask me questions directly. So I hope to see you inside the group and enjoy the video. All right, cool. It is 8:02 a.m. over here in Bali. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes until we get a couple more people showing up, and then we can start this Q&A. I don't know why the camera is so zoomed in this time. Let's see. For those who are tuning in, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Comment in the chat where you guys are from. Let me know what time it is over there. And this is a Q&A that we're doing weekly now, so this is the second one. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat and I can definitely answer it. I also want to touch on a subject. So every week, what I want to do is to talk about one topic. So last week we did talk about keyword research because that was the most requested topic to talk about. If you guys want to rewatch the call from last week, it is in the featured post tab in the Facebook group. So this week I want to talk about Amazon ads and just touch on a few points for that. But yeah, any questions if you guys have, just let me know and we will get started. And I'm trying to see if I can zoom out on the video a little bit because it's like literally my face in the entire screen. I guess I can't. I don't know what happened here. All right, so I'm just gonna start talking, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the chat. But starting with the Amazon ads, right? This is the second most requested topic for me to talk about, and it is definitely something that a lot of people want to learn more about. A lot of people think when their book is not selling, it is because they don't know how to run Amazon ads. A lot of people think the secret to scaling your publishing business is Amazon ads. People think that there are beginner Amazon ad strategies and advanced Amazon ad strategies. So I'm going to break all the myth in this lesson here. So the reality is, if your book is not selling, or if your Amazon ads is not performing well, 90% of the time, like literally 90% of the time, it's not the way you set up Amazon ads, it is the way, it's your book basically. That's the issue. So what do I mean by that? Well, before I go into it, I see a couple more people hopping on, so I just want to say that welcome to the call. We're doing this every single week now, and today we're talking about Amazon ads. But if you guys have any other question, like it doesn't even have to be about Amazon ads, type in the comment and let me know. I will answer it. Okay. But going back to it, so Amazon ads, it's not the way you set up. Okay. One thing you have to understand is fundamentally what is Amazon ads about? Like, what does it do? Ads only shows your book to more people. That is it. Ads do not sell your book, right? Ads do not sell your books. It literally just shows your books to more people. Okay. So if nobody wants your book, no matter how many people you show it to, they're not going to buy it. Okay. And if your book is amazing, it's already getting sales without ads, you show it to more people, you're just going to get more sales because we know that it converts. So it kind of, I mean, the harsh reality is that, Amazon ads is not a secret sauce. It's really just, opening the floodgates in terms of traffic. Okay. That is pretty much it. So if your book is not selling well, most likely, or if your book is not selling well already, most likely Amazon Ads is not going to change that, you know, unless the only issue with your book not selling is discoverability. If that's the case, Amazon Ads will help you have your book more discovered. But say you already have some traffic, you already have people looking at your book and they're not buying. Amazon Ads is not going to change that, because the issue is with the book, not with traffic. Okay, so you have to understand that. So let's say that you have a great book, right? That it's converting well. Good covers, good reviews, good titles, everything in a good keyword that people want to buy. So if that's the case, then Amazon Ads will be great. You can run ads, get more traffic, and scale your business. So that is typically how it works. Okay. So if you're running Amazon Ads, and let me just go over like the common issues that I see with Amazon Ads. And Alexander, nice to see you again live. Thank you, man. Nice to see you here too. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just type in the chat. But um, all right, so when you're running Amazon Ads, these are the frequently encountered problems that you will see. So the first one is you're not getting any impressions at all with the ads, right? So if you're not getting any impressions, there are really two scenarios to it. So scenario number one is the keyword that you're bidding towards, or the keyword that you're running ads to, and your book is not related, like there's no relevancy to it. So Amazon Ads, or Amazon's algorithm, does look at relevancy too. So if you're running ads to keywords that are not relevant at all, oftentimes, and if there are other books that are more relevant also running ads to that keyword, then Amazon will favor the relevant one, because they want to show books that are relevant to the keyword, because they want to show books that customers are actually looking for, right, on that. So if you're running a productivity book to a keyword, ketogenic diet, and there are other books that is actually on ketogenic diet that's running ads to the same keyword, ketogenic diet, then Amazon will show that to Amazon will favor that book over yours, because they know that customers who are searching ketogenic diet most likely want to see a ketogenic diet book rather than a productivity book, So that's the relevancy factor number one. That might be why you're not getting any impressions. The second reason why you might not be getting any impressions is simply that you're not bidding enough or bidding high enough, right? So say you're actually targeting a keyword that is relevant to your book. So say you actually do have a keto book, and then you're running ads to a keto keyword. Then if you're not getting impressions, then the reason is because you're not bidding high enough compared to your competitors. So your competitors is also running ads to the same keyword, and they're bidding higher, so you're just simply getting outbidded, right? So if your competitor is paying more for ads, then Amazon will choose them over you, considering if everything else is the same, like the relevancy factor. So because of the relevancy factor, it's not as simple as bid higher and then you'll be seen more. There are different factors to it, but generally those are the two ways that you know why you're not getting impressions, okay? The second way, by the way, Alexander, I do see your questions. I'm just gonna go through all these commonly faced things with Amazon ads, and then I'll get back to the questions. So say you're getting impressions, but no clicks. What does that mean? Well, if you're not getting impressions, if you're getting impressions but you're not getting clicks, then it's really just like dissecting Amazon ads is really just I forgot what it's called. It's like one of those math terms, it's like the law of deduction or something. You just kind of can figure it out, right? If people are seeing your book because you're getting impressions, but you're not getting clicks, what does that mean? People are seeing your books, but they're not checking out the book, meaning that there's probably something wrong with the book cover, the book title, reviews, right? Or maybe your book is not relevant. So going back to the thing, if you're running a productivity book to a keto keyword, most of the people who search for ketogenic diet, when they see your book, that's not what they're looking for, you know? So there's a relevancy factor. So you might get impressions, but you might not get sales, or you might not get clicks. Let's say you're actually targeting a relevant keyword, but you're not getting clicks. Well, most likely your book is not attractive enough for people to want to click on it. So covers, title, reviews, not enough reviews, right? So those are the factors that you want to look into. Okay. So let's say that you're getting impressions, you're getting clicks, but you're not getting sales. Okay. So people see your ads. So people do see your books. People are clicking on it, but they're not purchasing. So where are they in the stage, right? Where are they in the steps in terms of purchasing? Well, they clicked on the book on Amazon. They're on the product page right now, and they're checking out the book. It's like the final step for them to determine whether they want to buy the book or not. So they're checking it out. They're reading the subtitles. They're reading the book description to see what's included. And they're also probably scrolling down to the reviews and reading a couple reviews, right? So that's where you have to improve, is your book description, maybe A+ content to, entice people a little more, and also reviews, like, get more reviews, right? So that is like the final step. And if all of that is good, then people will follow through and purchase the book. So it's a lot of people don't really know how to interpret the metrics when it comes to Amazon ads. They're like, I'm not getting impressions, why? Or I'm getting clicks but no sales, why? Well, this is why, right? You have to think in terms of, where the customers are at in terms of their journey as a customer to purchase a product on Amazon. All right, so just to recap. Oh, and there's one more thing. So let's say that you're getting impressions, you're getting clicks, and you're getting sales, but your ACoS is too high. Okay, so that is like the final thing that we gotta look at. So your ACoS is too high. Well, that might mean that your bid is too high, basically, right? So if your bid is too high, if you're spending way too much money for each click, right? You're paying for ads way too much to the point where you are getting sales, but you're not getting as many sales to the point where it justifies how much you're spending for the sale. So that's why your ACoS is high. Well, a couple ways to fix this. One, you can try and bid lower so you're paying less. And if you can still get impressions while bidding lower, then that is how you can slowly lower the ACoS, right? Another way is not to change anything on the Amazon ads side, but try and make money from your books, like make more money from your books by increasing the price. If you increase the price, your profit margin increases, right? If your profit margin increases, then you can afford a little more in terms of how much you spend on Amazon ads and still make money. So that is how you can fix the ACoS issue in two ways. Okay, so that is the four main issue that people see: no impressions, no clicks, no sales, and then bad ACoS. Okay, so does that make sense? Let me know in the chat here, and then I'll go and answer the questions. Okay. All right, so Alexander is asking, after how many days and how much money spent without sales would you stop ads and work on a book? Good question. So around 2 weeks for me. And how much money spent, I don't really track it at the moment, but with campaigns, so each campaign, typically I forgot how much, around like $6 right now. So if you spend like $6 on a campaign and you literally got no sales, it depends, right? If you're getting a ton of impressions, ton of clicks, and the keywords are relevant, those are good signs too. But typically around, $5, $6 or so on a campaign. You're not making any sales. I pause that. And this is per campaign, right? And then oftentimes we're setting up multiple campaigns, so overall, during launch, I'm spending $100, $200 on the Amazon ads side. And then that really depends on the keyword, right? And so this, I want to touch on that because this is a good question. A lot of people ask me, how much money do you need to spend on launch uh, with Amazon ads? And the answer is it really depends on the keyword. So it goes back to keyword selection. There is no set way, like there is no, oh, every single book we spend $200 or something like that. It's not the case. Average for me is like 100, 200, but sometimes even more, sometimes even less. And again, it goes back to keyword. And let me explain why. So if you select a keyword that is super competitive, let's say search results 50,000, right? Everybody's like, let's say this is a keto keyword again, ketogenic diet. So many books on it, so many people running ads. And going back to what I just explained with how the Amazon ads work and then the audition system, right? Or auction system that they have. If there's a bunch of other people running ads to the same keyword, ketogenic diet, and they're also bidding super high, then obviously you will have to bid high too to compete with them, and you will have to spend more, and that is why your ad budget is going to be very, very high if you go into a competitive keyword. Okay, but if you go into a non-competitive keyword, no one's running ads to it, super easy to rank, you can just run low biz ads, you know and a little bit of money, and you're still going to be seen, right? So it really depends on the competitiveness of the keyword, and that's why it's not a one set answer when it comes to how much money you spend. But I just wanted to touch on that because that's like another common misconception that we have with ads, right? But Alexander, so yeah, that's to answer your question around, like, for me, I take a look at ads maybe like 10, 14 days because that's how long it usually takes to start spending money and kind of optimizing. And then per campaign, it's about $5, $6 or so. If you're not getting any sales, we pause it. But if we are getting sales, then we slowly optimize it by adjusting bids and turning off the keywords inside the campaign and stuff. Um, and yeah, and then we have multiple campaigns. So that's how it works. Flaminio, hopefully that's how I pronounce your name, but I live outside US, UK, and Canada. What's the best way for publishing on ACX? The best way for you is go through Findaway Voices. So with Findaway Voices, you can go publish on ACX. And to be completely honest, oh, that was your second question or second comment here. Do you think that on Findaway Voices with a lot of audiobooks is possible to generate a good amount of royalties? Yes, it is. I was making like more than $1,000 from, I forgot how many books that I uploaded, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good, and I know other people are making some decent money, like decent four figures a month, right? So thousands a month from Findaway Voices. So it's definitely possible, especially if you got a good amount of books. One thing I would say is ACX is a lot of headache nowadays. ACX is a lot of headache. So Findaway Voices is probably easier, and you can still make good money. So if you're international, even if you're not international, if ACX is giving you a lot of problems, then you can probably just go through that. That's something that I'm considering more and more too. All right, Solomon, good to see you here. Uh, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. So any Amazon ad services you recommend? So if you guys want to check, like Amazon ads is something, it's definitely good to learn to the basics and how to run it, but it's one of the most time consuming things that you will be doing in your business. So eventually you want to outsource to someone. Now there's a couple ways you can outsource this. You can simply hire a normal VA, like you can hire a generic VA on Upwork, and you can train them on the way you do ads. So that is the cheapest way you can hire someone, right? So you can train them yourself. So that's the most cost-effective way, or that's the cheapest way. The second way is you can hire a PPC expert on Upwork. So somebody who's already trained to run ads for you. And you can, post a job looking for Amazon ads, PPC, and you can find people there. Okay. So the third option is to hire a service that is an expert in running Amazon ads for you, which is the service that I often talk about called AsDroid. So let me get a link for that. So AsDroid is basically a service. They have a software so that, like, in this video, I'll show you how I became a millionaire. Sorry, I opened up my YouTube channel to get the link, but they have a software, right, that will automatically, adjust the bids for you. So the good thing about that is you don't have to manually go and adjust bids. It's 24/7. The software is constantly adjusting bids based on the rules that you set. So the benefit of that is you're not really losing time when the campaign and the ACoS goes out of the range that you set. It's automatically adjusted to it because of the software, right? Because it's working 24/7. Compared to if it's a human, then you have that couple hours or the next day when you log back in, and then you notice the bid is out of range, so you gotta put it back, and you might have overspent at that point, right? So that is like the big difference with a software. It is not the cheapest option, to be completely honest, right? Let me get the link here. It is not the cheapest option. It is more so a premium option. But it's good for those who are like making money from their business already. And yeah, they do have different options though, like more catering towards people who are just getting started too. So what I recommend is just booking a call. I sent the link, or I posted a link in the chat. You can book a free strategy call with them and then see if it's a good fit or not. But that is what I recommend with different options on ad services. There are different ones like Prestazon, Helium 10, I think does have something. And there's also another one. But to be honest, like all of the other ones are more so for Amazon FBA, and it's not really specific towards publishing, right? So the tricky thing about that is it is the same Amazon ads, but uh, with products, I think the profit margin is a little higher, and so the way you run Amazon ads with books is gonna be a little different, and I'm not sure if those guys understand that, So that is gonna be the main thing. So with these three options, we know that they're specializing in the publishing side. So, all right. All right, Michael or uh, Mikhail, um, you sent a message to Azdroid but never answered. I would just try again. I mean, if you just sent one message, if you sent multiple and they're not answering, that's a little weird. But usually they're pretty good, so I would just message them again. All right, Alexander, how many books have you published after selling KDP account? It's a good question. I think I'm on like 20 books right now, but a lot of them is low content. So what I'm trying to do, if you're in my paid course, I forgot if you're in my paid course, but what I'm trying to do is my paid course already has some low content lessons, but it's gonna have a complete low content course inside. So it's already a complete course. It's already a complete high content course, like literally everything you need to know, better than any other course. I mean, I don't want to talk crap or anything, but it is something that, um, like, it is taught by what works, right? Everything I teach is actually something I do, and I did to make 40K a month. And then I sold my business for 820, like literally made well over 7 figures. It's not taught by theory, and what sounds nice, but something the course creator never done. It's something that I've actually done, and I know that it works, right? So It's already a complete high content course, but I'm also going to make it a complete low content course. So people who don't have a ton of budget will be able to start with low content if they want to, and then move up to high content if they want. So it's gonna have both, catering to both people, and then so much more than that. But right now there are a good amount of low content lessons, but I'm gonna be adding more. So the point of me saying this is I published about 20 books. A lot of them is low content, just so I can, again, test out what works, what doesn't, so that I can put it in the course. I'm not really making, like, I don't really make lessons from theory, so I don't, that's why I have to try the strategy out myself and then see if it works. And then I make lessons on it and teach it to you guys. So that's pretty much what's happening. If you're curious how much I'm making with the new account, I'm at $3,000 right now. Or this month, I'll probably do a little over 3K from like very few high content books too, because most of the low content, I mean, we know that, you need much more in volume to make. So it's really like the couple high content books that I publish following the methods in the course that is making most of the 3K. Um, Obviously not all profit, but a good chunk of it is. And yeah, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. So um, yeah, you know what? If you've messaged Azdroid many times and you're not getting a response, that is weird. Um, Let me message the owner right now, see what's happening with that. All right, so I just messaged Ivan from Azdroid, so hopefully he gets back to you. Alexander, yes, 3K. With ACX a little more. I haven't even started Ingram Spark, so hopefully that brings in a lot more. But the tricky thing is, I mean, most of my time is dedicated to the course, So like of all the time that I have with publishing, like literally 5-10% is dedicated towards, or of all the time that I have to work, right, on a daily basis, right? It's like 5-10% is to publishing. And yeah, I do outsource a lot to people, but overall strategically I still have to manage. I have to do keyword research. I have to come up with a strategy, and that does take time. So it's tricky, but I'm trying to manage both. Um, Suir Tayasa, what kind of task in publishing that you're still doing by yourself? So yeah, that's kind of what I just touched on. But yes, keyword research, I don't do as, so as I outsource, as I just, kind of talked about. Basically what I do is just the most important step that you really cannot mess up, which is keyword research. I still come up with the book title, but I found someone who can probably take over that part. So I might outsource that, but everything else is outsourced. So it's pretty much just keyword research and like strategy stuff. So I do keyword research, and then I also see what kind of books that I can bundle and those kind of like overall stuff, like which direction I want to take the pen name, and then also email marketing and the marketing strategy. Like those are the things that I really more so think about. But in terms of what I actually do is just keyword research, and then the book title creation. From there, I send it over to outline, somebody who can create an outline for me. So somebody creates an outline for me, and then I send that over to the writer. So the writer, uh, write the book, and then the writer delivers the book. The proofreader and editor is the same person, right, that does proofreading and editing, reads the book, fix everything, and then once the book is ready to go, she sends it over to me. Once that is good, I send the book over to the formatter that also checks plagiarism for me, formats the book, um, and then I have a cover designer that designs covers, and that's pretty much it. I think we uploaded. Uploading the book to KDP is also done by my VA, and once it's uploaded, the marketing starts. Most of the marketing is also outsourced now, except for a couple things like promo sites and stuff. I gotta buy that. But, so yeah, honestly, now that I think about it, I've set it up in a way that I'm outsourcing most of the work, which is pretty cool. It's something that I do talk about in my paid course if you guys want to check it out. Obviously, I'm plugging it here because, this is a free group, right? So for those who are watching and who's not in the paid course, the link is in the comment section if you want to schedule a free strategy session, answer any questions, see if you're a good fit for the program. I'm gonna be plugging that every week if you guys are wondering, obviously, because I'm doing this for the promotion of the paid course here. So, um, but yeah, it's a good course, man. It's a good course. But that's pretty much what I outsource. The main thing though is I do need to hire a because even though I outsource most of the tasks, right, as I just mentioned, I still have to communicate. Like I'm like the middleman. I talk to the outline creator, get the book back, download the book, and then send it off to the writer, right? And then create the milestone on Upwork, and then get the book back from Upwork, send it over to the editor. So I'm like always in the middle, shuffling files like this, and that actually is pretty tedious. So I want to replace myself, which is like the final step in this business, by hiring a executive VA, right? An executive VA who can do all that for me and be like the manager communicating with all the freelancers, um, which will happen in the future, but it's tricky. I mean, that's a tough hire. That's a tough one because you have to train the person to really understand every single task. With the other task, you just hire a specialist for each one. You hire a ghostwriter that only knows ghostwriting. You hire a editor that only knows editor, right? Or editing. But with this executive VA, you got to train them to really understand everything so they can check the quality of the work, approve it, communicate. Like they got to know what they're doing. So it's gonna be tough. But eventually it's something that I will do for sure. It's just that I don't really have time to deal with that. All right. So that is all the questions that I see submitted in the chat right now. So if you guys have any other questions, type it in the chat and let me know because I'm still gonna be here for a little more. Um, I'll try and make the call last like 40 minutes minimum every week. So I'll hang around like 6 more minutes if you guys have any other questions. And in the meantime, I guess I'll just talk about optimizing the ads because I did talk about what to do for each obstacle with Amazon ads. So in terms of optimizing, so let's say your ACOS is really really bad, right? With Amazon ads, what you want to do, I guess I kind of talked about this. You lower the bid of, okay, so let me go back to it. So you say you have a campaign. Overall ACOS is pretty bad. But you don't really just turn off the whole campaign because there could be some individual keywords inside the campaigns that has issues, right? So if you turn off one keyword in the campaign that is just throwing off all the ACOS, other keywords could be performing well. So you kind of have to see it that way. So you open up the keywords, right? And you sort by ACOS and see that, if the ACOS is super duper high, obviously you lower the bid by couple cents each time. Like do that every 3 days or so, right? And then you can slowly see if the ACOS comes down or not. If you have a great ACOS, right, on a keyword already, then you can choose to not touch that, or if you can also try and scale that by increasing the bid a little bit, right? So basically, you're trying to get more impressions, while keeping the ACOS profitable. So that's typically what you can do. So every couple of days, you're either decreasing or increasing the bid by a few cents, like 3 to 5 cents, based on the ACOS of the keyword. But let's say you have a keyword that got a ton of clicks but no sales. So if it's spent over $4 or so, right, on a keyword, no sales, then just turn off the keyword. Just turn it off, because it's not converting. So that is kind of how you optimize the Amazon ad side. And Alexander, yes or no. My new ACX account does not make 3K. So overall, from my KDP and ACX, I make 3K from my new account at the moment. The ACX side, I think I got like 100 unit sales. So I think that's like 350, right? $350 for the month. I don't have a ton of books. I think I have like 3 books that are live, and I just started promoting it. One book is doing good though. So one book is on track to probably do a couple $100. I think like $300-400 a month just on ACX. That was a good one. And then on KDP, it's doing a lot better too. So, I'll probably scale that and build something around that. But ACX just took a lot longer to set it up. We're just kind of in the starting phase. So for those who are, say, from the future, right, and watching the recording, hopefully this answers your questions when it comes to Amazon ads. And that's one thing that I really wanted to make sure to touch on today is the misconception of Amazon ads and understanding like what it actually does. Amazon ads does not sell your book. It only shows your book to more people. So if you have a fundamentally unattractive book and you show it to more people, you're not going to really make any more sales, right? But if you have a very attractive book that people already want and you show it to more people using Amazon ads, that is how you can scale. So everything goes back to having a very good book with a really nice cover and a lot of reviews and titles. So I get questions all the time and I get comments all the time, and like, people are like, I'm not making any sales. It's because of Amazon ads. I want to learn Amazon ads, right? Or they're like, I'm running Amazon ads, but I want to learn advanced Amazon ads. And yes, we got some advanced lessons in the paid course, but it's still not going to change the fact that everything starts with your book. Fundamentally, you got to have a good book. You're never going to change a bad book into a good book with Amazon ads, okay? So that is something I wanted to touch on. Alexander, which Hawaii island did you live in? So right now I live in Bali, right? But in Hawaii, I lived in Hilo, so Big Island. That's where my family is. That's where I went to high school, learned English and stuff. And once I was 20 years old, I moved out to Oahu. So Oahu, where Waikiki Beach is, like I live pretty close to Waikiki Beach. Worked for a big hotel, and was a concierge there for 4 years. Living in the city, trying to save as much money as I can. Since I speak Japanese, right, because I'm from Japan, and being bilingual, it was easy to get a concierge job because we have a lot of Japanese tourists in Hawaii, as you may know, and English tourists too, right? So I was able to help both, you know. So I did that for 4 years or 5 years, saved a ton of money. Pretty much had no social life, just worked and saved and invested everything back into the publishing business. Worked that on the side, and I was able to quit my job eventually. I moved back to the Big Island for a little bit, lived the country life, and then now I am in Bali. So that's the journey that I took. Um, but yeah, I want to ask you guys here, comment in the chat, if this was helpful. I'm curious, you can just say yes or no and just let me know. And comment in the chat, like, what do you want to learn next week? Because when I asked the group, right, when I did a poll, keyword research and Amazon ads was like the best two best things that people wanted to learn about. But the third wasn't really, I forgot what the third was, because like keyword research and Amazon ads was like, you can see, clearly that people wanted to learn that. The third, I forgot if it was like email marketing or just marketing in general. I guess I can pick one cover or pick one topic and talk about it. But um, Carlos is saying that I want to join, but have seen so many negative comments about how this doesn't work for most people that I am on the fence. Yeah, that's a good objection. Let me touch on that real quick. Most things will not work for most people, and that's just the reality of it. If you look at any business, um, not just in publishing, so any business, if you get a sales job, most people will not be successful in it, or most people will not be like one of those top performing sales person that's gonna make multiple six figures, right? If you do Amazon FBA, most people will not be successful. Um, if you do affiliate marketing, crypto, stocks, investing, literally any business, YouTube, most people will not be successful. So the whole logic of people complaining how, most people will not succeed in publishing just doesn't make sense, because that's literally how it is in life, you know? But the thing is, the reason why publishing is great is because the reason why people don't succeed is because they really don't do anything about it, They just publish one book and give up, or they never publish. They endlessly watch YouTube videos or courses and never take action, never publish anything. And literally, if you want to make money, you got to publish a book. That's the only way. But they never do that. And then they're like, oh, this doesn't work, Or they're just like, they just want confirmation. So they never take action. They keep waiting on the sidelines. And then when one person posts their like failure story, that's like confirmation to them. And they're like, I knew it. This doesn't work. I'm not even going to try with my first book. I'm going to give up. And then tell everybody that this business doesn't work. So whether you do publishing or whether you do any business, like if you just take action and if you're consistent, you'll probably succeed. And the whole take action thing, you might be thinking, you heard that a million times. It's true though. It's true though. Um, what I would say though is to set realistic expectations. You probably gotta commit to the business for over a year, or like 1 year is what I usually tell people. Just commit to publishing or whatever business you do. Not even in publishing. If you want to do other business, that's fine. Commit to it for 1 year, you know? And if you go all in for 1 year, so as an example, if you do publishing, commit to it for a year and just consistently publish books, right? Because that's how you make money. So you consistently publish books. You're probably going to be doing pretty good after a year. If you're going to do YouTube, if you commit to it for a year and consistently publish videos every single week, or multiple times a week, you're probably going to do good. So basically what I'm trying to say is 90% of the people fail in any business, but that's because 90% of the people don't do anything about it. They just do the bare minimum and expect to get the results that they see on YouTube. And it's partially because, YouTube videos are hyped up, right? So it might set unrealistic expectations, but this is a legit business and you can't expect to just do like the bare minimum and think you can make money. But if you understand that and if you're willing to put in the work consistently and be better than 90% of others, which is as simple as just being consistent and showing up and taking actions that matter, right? And when I say taking actions that matter, it's not watching videos, right? It's about actually publishing the books. Then you're probably going to do good. And the great thing about publishing is there's an option for you no matter what stage there is, right? So if you got some money and if you want to outsource the work because you don't have a ton of time, if you don't have a ton of time, but you got some money to invest, you can outsource most of the task and do high content books, right? But if, say, you don't have a ton of money and you have some time that you can put in, you can write the book yourself, so the production cost is pretty much like close to zero. If you want to do more design heavy stuff by yourself, you can do low content, right? So it's not going to cost money. So the whole objection of like, oh, publishing, you have to spend money or this and that. No, because like you don't have to spend money if you don't want to. You can do low content, you can write. But the point is there's always a way for you to create a book and publish it. But people don't want to do the hard stuff. But if you're willing to do it, you could really change your life here. Because all you got to do is just focus on publishing one book after another. Of course, you cannot just publish any book. You got to make sure it's good. But, I do show you how to do that. And not even just in my course. If you want to just watch my videos on YouTube, those are free. And I show you how to do that, right? So you make sure that you're doing the fundamental stuff right. And you just focus on publishing one book after another. Build up the portfolio. I'll guarantee you your life's going to change, But most people will not do that. So anyways, I've been answering the same question for like 10 minutes. I'm going to move on. But Alexander, yes, very helpful about ads and inspiring to see your new account profits. Thank you. I'm glad this was helpful. And yeah, I can talk about email marketing. It's a little harder to just talk about it for sure because it's more like a visual thing. Or I guess I can just talk about the overall concepts. Carlos, you are right, but what can I focus on to tilt things to my favor? Mainly Amazon ads. No, actually, Amazon ads again is just to boost what you already have, right? So first, you need a good collection of books. So if you're a beginner, the sole focus you should have is to publish books. Get those catalog of books under your portfolio going. So whether you're doing high content, right? What I like to teach actually is if you do high content books, when you outsource the writing to a ghostwriter, obviously this wouldn't apply if you're writing the book yourself, but if you outsource it to a ghostwriter, it typically takes them like a month to write the book. So what are you going to do for a month? Are you just going to sit there and do nothing? No, right? There are different types of books that you can write yourself that is much shorter than high content. So it's like it's kind of like, I like to call it medium content books or DIY books, but you can write those books yourself, make it very cheap, while you're waiting for the high content. Basically, you can still do something, consistently take action to get those books up. Or you can do low content too, same thing, right? You can just, learn graphic design skills, a lot of tutorials on YouTube if you want to, and then just get something out there, and then besides that, all you have to do is just it's called a feedback loop, okay? A feedback loop is basically this. Obviously, if you're publishing books for the sake of just pumping out books without really, fixing the mistakes that you're making, then that's futile, right? It's kind of a waste of time. But every single time you publish a book, you observe the results. Did it do good? You know, did it not do good? Like how did it do, right? If it did well, if the book sells and does well, get reviews and stuff like that, then you ask yourself, you know, why? Why did this book get reviews? Why did this book get sales? And then once you identify the reason why, you take that and you apply that to the next book, right? So the next book has the same results. If the book doesn't do well, then you ask yourself why? Why did it not do good? You know? Was it the cover? How I market it? Whatever it is. You try to identify the positives and the negatives for every single book, and then you take that and apply it to the second book. So the second book is always better than the first one. You do the and then once you publish the second book, you do the exact same thing, right? So you see, you know, what worked well, what didn't, do what worked, and stop doing what didn't work on the third book, right? So the third book is better. And then the fourth book becomes better, and the fifth book becomes better. And that is how you can improve on your craft. Obviously, if you're gonna publish not knowing anything, right? If you're just gonna publish a crap book and you don't even know what's right or wrong, and you're just consistently pumping out crap books like a lot of people do, you're not gonna see any results. But if you consistently reevaluate what you do, right, and then fix it, tweak it, and keep getting better, that's really all you have to do, you know? Alexander, talk about email series, how many emails you send, what is the message? Yeah, I can definitely do that, but I will do that in the next call, uh, not this one. All right, well, we're approaching 53 minutes for the call, so unless you guys have any questions, I will end this, but I'll probably wait 2 more minutes just hanging around here. And if you have any questions, just shoot it over. Hopefully this was beneficial, and I will be doing this every week, just hanging out. I kind of enjoy it, just talking about things. Um, and if you want to invite your friends to this Facebook group, if you think they can benefit from, you know, these calls and just engaging with other people in the Facebook group, definitely do so. You can simply send them a link to the group and, you know, invite them. That'll be cool. I would love to see this Facebook group grow. Um, and yeah, Carlos, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Um, I'm happy that you guys had um, found value in this call. So, all right, cool. Well, I guess I'll see you guys all in the next call. Have a nice rest of the day and keep crushing it. Bye.